Well, time for another little update. Um, Pretty much ready to put the engine in almost. Just got one little thing left. Um, would have probably had it in this weekend, but ran into problems. So this will kind of be a pretty quick one, I think. But finished getting everything on and everything together. Got the back seal on, and as you can see, got the clutch on after it got back from being rebuilt, and got all that taken care of. So that should be uh, pretty much done and ready to go. Uh, but I ran into one little thing. I had a problem last year. I had noticed that, when I would be somewhere and I would shut the car off um, to then go to start it, to put it in neutral or to put it in reverse or just, put it in neutral to start. I could never pull it out of gear. So I always had to like start it and just kind of bump it, just a little bit, and then I could pop it out of gear. And I never understood why. I thought maybe it was something to do with the triple clutch, but it just seemed weird that it would do that. Um, and actually, I guess that may have been happening the year before too. So the last couple of years. Um, and so before I put it back together, I decided to uh, recheck my measurements and for the clutch and everything according to Mantic, and I was off a little bit on my range, acceptable range that the numbers basically should be in. So I need the shim that's behind there needs to be shrunk up a little bit so that it pushes it back a little bit, because I think what was happening is that it was putting pressure on the fins. Let's see, I always get this kind of messed up. I believe, yeah, because it wasn't back far enough. It was a little bit farther forward. It was putting pressure on at least one of the clutch discs on the fin, so putting pressure on at least one of the clutch discs, and therefore it was basically constantly being engaged. It was never fully disengaging, and so I believe that is why that was happening, because I believe was a little bit too forward. So I need to push it back, basically by like an eighth of an inch, 0.12 inches. I need to push it back. So I had the piece that I got from Mantic, and I took it to a local shop quick on Saturday. He was around, and I had him shave off the front of it. But when I brought it back, it didn't make any difference. And then I realized that's just kind of aligning the back of the slave and the bearing there, and so it didn't actually push it back. So I actually needed to shave some off the rear of it. So when I took it back, but he was leaving for the day, so do it early this week. But we also realized that if he just shaves it off the lip, then it will actually hit behind there, and so it won't go all the way back. So after talking with the local guy, the local machinist about it, what he's going to do is take 0.12 off the lip and the underside of that, so basically resetting it in essence, so it'll maintain its same lip dimensions and all that kind of stuff, so it shouldn't be a problem to go on there, but it should basically push it back that 0.12, and then we should be okay. So that is what unfortunately held me up, but I got everything else done. So once I get that back, should be able to get it in. Hopefully, maybe this week or definitely this weekend, should be able to get it in. The other thing that got done was I was able to get the adjustable panhard bar adjusted over. So as you can see, we are underneath here. That one is a little bit more under. This one doesn't really show up so great in video, is also in, but this one's a little bit closer. I just struggled to get that panhard bar, the jam nuts loose. I got the one on the passenger side loose, but for the life of me, no matter with heat or with PB blaster, and putting a pipe on the wrench and whatever, I just could not get that jam nut that faces the driver's side loose. So I don't know why. I almost thought maybe it was welded on, but I didn't really feel any welds. And it would be weird if there's a jam nut on there. Why would it be welded? It should be able to be adjusted, both of them, because it's got the middle adjustment piece. So you're supposed to be able to loosen both jam nuts and then just kind of you know lock on to that middle um, threaded rod, and move it, one way or the other. So it shouldn't be a problem, but for some reason it was. So what I ended up doing was loosening a bunch of stuff so I could kind of get at it. And basically, I dropped it down and I basically just spun the end of the shorter piece that's towards the passenger side, spinning that all the way in as far as I could, and then putting it back in, and basically then having to kind of pound the rear end over. Basically, it was about 1/8 of an inch or so, and pound it over, and then was able to put everything back together. So was able to do that. Not as easy as it should have been, but I was able to get it done. And now, as you saw, both of them are sucked in. Again, not quite as in. I mean, it would be nice if they were just a touch more. But like I said, the driver's side is in good, but the passenger side one just could not get that one in much as far as that goes. Just because it's just not quite adjustable as I was hoped. But I had to kind of push that one. It was sorry, the passenger side one was in plenty, but then it was hitting the shock underneath there. So I had to. That's why I kind of had to adjust it and basically shove the rear end towards the passenger side so that it would do that. And unfortunately, then that kind of pushed that one out a little bit. It sucked the driver's side one in, but it pushed the passenger side one out a little bit. But unfortunately, like I said, I had to do that because otherwise it was going to be rubbing the shock. So not much I could do about it. But that's kind of where we're at. Sorry, my story was a little bit longer than it should have been. I was trying to keep this under 5 minutes, but that's kind of where we're at. So I will cut it off there. Like I said, hopefully the next video will be with it in the car. Hopefully. Thanks. Bye.